Hey guys, this girl got game. Welcome back to Date Warp. We are here to do the route that I've been most excited about since the very beginning, Linds's route. And of course, all these shenanigans start in the bathroom, as you would expect from a mad scientist in an alternate dimension, probably? Question mark? Anyway, so this is where we first run into him, so I thought we'll start off here, and then he disappears for a while, so we'll probably skip some things, because this is kind of old hat for us at this point. But to begin, the bathroom is naturally huge, and the towels are kept comfortingly warm on a heated rack. I peel off my dress and drape it over the hot rack, rubbing my hair with the towel. It feels so good to get that wet fabric off my skin. I hear footsteps outside the door. That's alright, it's locked. I'm sure I locked it. Ah! A strange figure, I'm not even sure at first if it's a man or a woman, opens the door and stares directly at me.
You must be Janet. I'm here to take your clothes.
How should Janet react to this situation? Well, the natural thing to do would be flirtatious, obviously. Oh, is that all?
What were you expecting?
I thought you were going to be my personal servant. Ah!
And what sort of service do you request, my lady?
Would you really do anything I asked?
No, I do as I please.
This sounds like I could get out of hand quickly. Woohoo! Who are you, actually?
You can call me Linds. Or Master, if you prefer.
I thought this was Nathaniel's house.
It is. That doesn't mean other things can't be mine, Winku.
He reaches over to the towel rack to pick up my dress.
Wait here. I'll be back with your clothes in a few minutes.
He leaves, closing the door behind him. I fumble with the doorknob and, I think, get it locked properly this time. That guy was a little bit creepy. How many people are there in this house anyway? Not long ago, it would have been unthinkable for me to be somewhere surrounded by strange men. Up through high school, I attended St. Teresa's, a small preparatory school for young women and only women. We had a brother school, St. Joseph's, and many of my classmates' brothers did go there. We had shared events with them sometimes. But their school was just as small as ours, so it almost was like we were part of one family. Everybody knew everybody. Perhaps that's why, even when I became a teenager, I could never be interested in dating. All those boys were like annoying siblings. How could anyone swoon over them? My parents raised me to expect perfection. A clever, rich, and handsome hero who could dance and sing and ride to my wedding on a white horse covered in flowers. I think we just described Linds. Back then, I wasn't willing to settle for less. Not that I was getting a lot of offers. I saw the boys as annoying relatives. They saw me as a bossy little know-it-all. In grades, I was at the top of my class for all the good it did me. But in popularity, more like the opposite. And I didn't realize at the time what the consequences would be. Then I came to university, and no one had any idea who I was, and first impressions were everything. I could get away from my reputation, start over, fit in, as long as I didn't screw it up. Never show fear. Never show weakness. I wrapped the towel around myself and sat on the floor to wait for my clothes. Alright, so let's fast forward a little bit and see when we can see Linds's beautiful face again. But first, should we share a room with Bradley? I don't think so. Don't want to be on Bradley's route. And he has a gun. I mean, who does that? That's just terrible. Wait, I saw Linds's beautiful face. Let's go. Let's do this. The next morning, everyone gathers in the dining room for breakfast. I don't think Bradley slept very well. He looks tired. Linds is munching absently through a plate of sausage biscuits. I don't think I've heard him speak to anyone. He barely seems to notice we're here. Albin definitely knows we're here. He keeps glaring at everybody. I think he needs more coffee. Only Nathaniel's polished manners keep the conversation moving. More scrambled eggs, anyone? I think I've had enough, thanks. No new faces have turned up. If there's anyone else in the mansion, they're staying out of sight. They're all such different people. It's hard to imagine what would bring them all together. Everyone seems to be finishing their meals now. Raphael is gathering plates. It would be polite to offer to help, but I've never washed dishes by hand in my life. Surely rich people have dishwashers, right? Should I? I mean, Raphael and Linds kind of have a thing, so I should probably get a little close to Raphael as well. Probably. No one else is going to offer, and I'd feel bad leaving Raphael to do it all himself. He's a guest too, after all. Here, I'll take some of those.
Thanks.
The kitchen is much less fancy looking than the rest of the house has been. I suppose it never has to go on show. I'm so busy keeping an eye on the stack of plates in my hand that I nearly trip over something on the floor. Eek!
Oh, that's Jake's bowl.
Jake?
Nathaniel's dog. He's an Irish setter. He's very pretty.
I didn't hear a dog.
Oh, he's not here right now. He's on vacation.
Who sends a dog on vacation? Whatever. I need to get these plates out of my hands. Unfortunately, Raphael appears to be running water into the sink. Is there a dishwasher?
Nope.
Seeing my chagrin, he can't help giggling.
I can do it, you know. I'm used to it.
How about I just dry?
Sure.
Rubbing a cloth carefully over clean plates isn't so hard, and work moves along swiftly enough. So, you normally do the dishes where you live?
I like to keep myself useful.
I wait, but he doesn't add anything else. Oh well. After we finish the dishes, we rejoin the others. It looks like there's been some sort of argument while we were gone.
Come on, let's get to that phone.
Nathaniel leads us out of the dining room to the hall we were in last night.
Don't take Albin too seriously. He's having a hard time right now. Why is that? Someone close to him is very ill.
He turns away and picks up the phone.
The line is still down. That's all right. Now that the rain has stopped, we can go outside to pick up the signal.
Yes, we should get going. We return to the grand entrance. Sensing our departure, everyone comes to see us off.
Goodbye, and good luck.
Thanks for your hospitality. We really appreciate it. I go to open the door. What on earth is that? The intro that we skip. The air in the open doorway shimmers and crackles with strange light.
That looks like some sort of plasma window. Don't touch it.
Riley grabs my arm and pulls me back away from the door.
How could this have something to do with... I don't know. Raphael, go downstairs and check that everything's all right. Right.
He rushes away. What's going on?
This had better not... What do you think you're...
Be quiet! The babble falls silent.
We can't accomplish anything if everyone is talking at once. Linds, what are we looking at? I'm not certain. Fascinating, isn't it? It's clearly permeable to at least some forms of radiation, but with intermittent diffraction. Solid matter on contact might be either repulsed or incinerated. I'd prefer more data before making empirical tests. What? Rube.
He said it might burn you if you touch it.
I understood that much. I just don't understand what that thing is or how it got there. Convenient, isn't it? Giving you an excuse not to leave.
I don't want an excuse not to leave. Raphael rushes back into the room, breathing hard.
Everything is still working, but there's excess power being generated. It's bleeding over into the security systems. Look, a house this big has to have more than one door. Windows, even. So why don't we just find another way out and get out of your hair? I'm afraid that's not possible. As part of the home security system, there are wires laid around every door and window frame. If they're all supercharged, every egress could be perilous.
Does that mean we're trapped in here?
So what do we do with them?
Hey!
Can you fix it? I don't know yet. Probably. Raphael and I will debug the system. It should only take a few hours.
Can we help?
No. This is no job for amateurs.
All right. Good luck. Linds and Raphael leave, going downstairs, I suppose. I wonder what's down there. Maybe this mansion has its own electricity generator. Maybe they make their own power so that they don't have to pay the electric company, but it was struck by lightning during the storm and overloaded? Maybe Linds was installing a new power system and that's why he's here in the first place, but it doesn't work right yet? I wish they'd let me go and see. I hate not knowing things. It doesn't seem like anyone here has made these force fields on purpose, but it's all very strange. Okay, so we'll skip ahead a little bit more, because we've seen this bit. And you know what? I'll go play some cards with Nathaniel. He's always a pleasant chap to be around. Oh! Right. So because we talked to Raphael, we have a little bit of different dialogue. He's an Irish setter, right? Raphael was telling me about him earlier. He said you sent the dog on vacation?
I had Robert take him to the countryside for a week.
Robert?
My major domo.
Do you have a lot of servants? Okay.
Just the one. I don't need much, usually.
What about your parents?
They don't live here anymore. This house can seem too quiet when Jake's not around, but with so many guests, that's not an issue. Do you have any pets?
Okay, we're back? Okay. We're back to the cats and the things and the cards and the roguery. Woo! Okay, now we've gone too far. Let's count down some more time, everybody. Late in the afternoon, we gather at the grand entrance. Everyone appears to be in good spirits, awaiting the resolution of our situation. Lynn steps forward and licks his lips in preparation to speak.
We have been monitoring the problem for several hours now, and the output remains steady. So there's no sign of the force fields growing. This shouldn't get any worse. As there was no visible heat damage in the surrounding frames, we experimented with introducing various objects. Physical contact so far has not produced any adverse reactions. The fields appear to act like a membrane, bowing outwards when a solid object is applied with force. However, small amounts of water...
But can you get rid of them?
Efforts to shunt the overflow without disrupting the system integrity have lacked success.
Can't you just turn the whole thing off? Pull the plug?
No.
Turning off the power is not an option. Looking over at Bradley beside me, I notice he seems a little pale. Clammy, even. He has his arms folded around himself, hands tucked inside his jacket. Is he sick? What do you expect us to do? We have to get home. Bradley's not feeling well.
Now this is the interesting part. I believe we would be able to bypass the barrier with Faraday shields. However, we don't have enough metal on hand to build a human-sized enclosure.
Whoops.
An active electromagnetic field generator may be able to produce the same effect. I'll need to tune them to your own bioelectric aura. If you approach the field so that I can measure the discharge...
No. Tiny beads of sweat are breaking out on his forehead. Well, we have to do something.
This is how you do it, isn't it? Do what? This is how you kill them. What are you talking about?
I think he may have a fever.
I will not walk into your death trap.
Suddenly, he pulls a handgun from inside his jacket.
You thought I was just another one of your victims, but I know what you are.
Eek!
I've waited years for this. Now you tell me, where is she? What? How did... who? Don't pretend you don't know. All of you!
He sweeps the gun around, pointing at each of the men in turn. Bradley, put the gun down. And then he swings it to aim at me.
Shut up, Janet!
How dare he speak to me like that?
It's the basement, isn't it? Where you didn't want anyone to go. Well, we're all going to see it now. All of you, move!
Frightened and confused, we are herded through the mansion. A nondescript door opens to reveal a dimly lit staircase leading down to the unknown basement. We're all clustered together. Albin looks ready to spit nails. Nathaniel's eyes meet mine only with sad resignation. Linds and Raphael are in the lead, and Bradley is behind us all with the gun. The staircase descends shallowly, then turns for another descent, down and around and down. I cannot see where it ends. Suddenly, there is a flash of light. With a strangled squawk, Bradley stumbles backwards, his weapon arm swinging up wildly. Quick as the flash, Albin's fist intersects with Bradley's jaw. Nathaniel grabs my arm and pulls me aside as Linds charges back to join the fray.
Come on, give me an excuse. You'd look better with 2 black eyes. Bastard. Raphael, bring me my handcuffs. Yes, sir. I'm not going anywhere. No, you're not.
You're not going to hurt him, are you?
That's up to him. Should we chain her up, too?
Me? Why me? I didn't do anything.
You came here with him. You had to know what he was planning.
I still don't know what he was planning. I have no idea what's going on.
Janet hasn't caused any harm. She deserves the benefit of the doubt.
Raphael returns with a pair of handcuffs, and Linds fastens Bradley's hands behind him, with a cuff chain looped through the back of the chair. Apparently this isn't his first time putting someone in restraints.
Why don't you just go ahead and kill me? You're the one who was waving around a gun! No one is killing anyone. Let's start at the beginning. Why were you carrying a gun? To defend myself from you. Me. Or Linds. Or who? All of you. Whichever of you is responsible for the murders. What murders? 5 years ago, a college girl disappeared from this area. 5 years before that, another girl disappeared. And before that. And before that. I never heard about any missing persons near here. Even if that's true, why would you think we had anything to do with it? Just because people went missing in this general area? Not this general area. This house. How would you know that? Because the last one was my sister.
He has a sister?
I was the last person to hear from her alive. She called me when her car broke down. She described where she was and the house she could see up ahead, and that she was planning to ask them for help. And then, she was gone. This is ridiculous. 25 years ago, most of you weren't even born.
Bradley laughs. It's not a pleasant sound.
It gets better. This house doesn't exist.
What?
I spent months looking for this house. The police said I must have had the details wrong. They gave up, but I looked harder. That was when I found out about the 5-year pattern. So I knew I needed a girl, and I knew I had to wait. Until now. All this year I've been looking for you, and this house was not here. But now I finally found you. That's complete nonsense.
It might be true. Everyone turns to stare at me. All year, Bradley's been asking out different girls. It's always just one date, and he always drives. He never makes a move, like he's barely interested in the girls at all. We thought he was just looking for the right girl, but he could have been looking for this house. That means... Burning with furious realization, I slip off my loafer and hurl it at his head. You manipulative, scheming, lying jackass! You used me as bait!
I don't understand. Don't listen to them. They're just trying to confuse you. If it's all lies, then what are you hiding in the basement? The bodies? Please, stop this.
He shakes his head sadly. Whoops.
We need some time to talk. We can't trust you on your own after you've attacked us, but we can't leave you chained to a chair forever either. Lock them in a room, both of them. Will she be safe with him?
Ha! Will he be safe with me?
That too. Separate rooms, then.
They lead me back to the room I slept in last night, taking Bradley somewhere else.
We'll be back. I promise.
And then they lock me in, and I am left here, alone. Pressing my ear to the door, I can faintly hear voices far away, but I can't make out anything that they're saying. This plain and simple room, so convenient before, suddenly feels like a prison. There's absolutely nothing for me to do except pace and worry. All that time last night sitting in the restaurant, driving in his car, Bradley had a gun? I was right next to something that could easily have killed me and I didn't even know it. Oops. He's gone crazy. No, he must have been crazy for a long time. All those girls. He could have driven each of them to a different location, looking for the phantom house in his head. There's no way that this house wasn't here. But at the same time, he's right. The people in this house are clearly up to something. Linds especially. Why are they all here? What are they going to do with us? Just when I begin to feel that they have forgotten me entirely, I hear a key rattling in the lock.
Hello again. I'm sorry about all of this. I know it's not your fault. You were just as surprised by Bradley's actions as we were.
What's going on? What are you going to do with him?
That is a problem. I would like to turn him over to the police, but as you know, the phones aren't working. And even if we could call the force fields...
So you're just going to keep us here?
Linds is still working on solutions.
I need to go home now. I have a paper to write. I have chem exercises to finish.
Finding a way to get you through the field is our top priority.
If that were really true, they would just turn off the power and let me go. For some reason, they don't think that's an option.
You are still my guest. You are free to go about the house. Just please, be careful.
I'm always careful. He looks at me for a long moment, then turns and walks away. So, I'm not a prisoner, except that I am, just with a bigger prison, but they're trapped in the house as well. I walk out of the bedroom and into the hallway. There's no sign of anyone. There must be some kind of way out of here.
Janet?
Huh? There's a thumping noise and one of the doors shivers.
In here. I'm locked in.
Well, good.
Please. You have to listen to me. You're my only hope.
Should Janet hear him out? I think I will, just because the interaction between Janet and Linds is more, amusing. If you dilly-dally here a bit. How can I trust anything you say now?
If I told you the truth, would you have come out here with me? If I told you about people vanishing in a house that disappears and reappears, you'd think I was nuts.
I still think you're crazy.
After what you've seen, this house isn't normal, Janet. Mysterious force fields don't just spring up out of nowhere in a normal house. They're making this happen somehow. They have the power.
He's got a point there. You had a gun.
I was chasing after people that might have been serial killers. But now, I don't know what they are.
He may be a little bit crazy, but so is this whole situation. I can't let you out anyway. I don't have the key.
That's not what I want. I need information, and they won't give it to me. I need you to find out more about these people and what they're doing here. Especially Linds. I think he's the mastermind.
I mean, he did say he wanted to be called Master, so you might be onto something there. How am I supposed to do that?
Well, you know, you're a girl. You can make guys do anything.
I am not a girl that guys fall all over themselves for.
Aw, come on. It should be easy. No guy wants to make a girl feel bad.
Guys insult girls all the time. Maybe a guy will do anything for a girl that he likes and thinks he has a chance with, but if you're not the right kind of pretty or giggly, you may as well not exist. I'm not very good with boys. And you're not very good with girls either. I bet you've never even been on a real date.
But...
I know you've gone out with half the freshman class, but those weren't real dates. Last night, over dinner, you weren't interested in getting to know me better. You weren't listening to a thing I said. You were just thinking about your quest or whatever. That's not a date.
Well, I am interested in you. I'm glad that you're here with me now and not one of those other girls. Because you're smarter than me, and I know I can count on you. I need your help to solve this mystery. I can't do it without you.
I'll do what I can. Whatever the truth is, it's clear that there's something very strange going on around here. I can't just sit back and wait for it to resolve itself. I have to find out more. I walk downstairs and head in the direction of the basement staircase. I don't intend to go down there on my own just yet. I don't want to trip any more booby traps. Linds? Are you here? Voice from behind.
Yes. I whirl around.
Ah! No, I will not let him get the upper hand here. You enjoy that, don't you? Yeah, I kind of forgot about this. I just remembered it was amusing. Ahem.
Coming from behind.
You said it, not me. There's no way I can believably bill and coo him into giving things away. He's far too experienced for me. But he is a scientist, and most science students I know love to talk about their work. Also, what is bill and coo? I've never actually heard that expression before. You said earlier that you needed a test subject to calibrate the Faraday shield generator. I thought I could help.
Ah. Not a test subject exactly. For each person wishing to pass through the fields, an electromagnetic shield would have to be individually built and tuned. Your height, as well as your natural aura, will define the strength and shape of the magnetic coils needed.
Custom built? That sounds like a lot of work. Wouldn't it make more sense to cut the power just long enough for us to run through the door? It would only take a moment. You could turn it right back on.
I wouldn't want to lose my uptime.
Computer uptime? Are you, compiling something?
Why do you want to know?
Just curious. Wouldn't you be, if you were me?
Indeed.
But still, even if you have a program running and you have to start it over, wouldn't it be safer to fix the problem first? An irritated breath hisses out from between his teeth.
Unfortunately, the breaker box is also hypercharged. We need to make this process work in order to get through the fields to turn the power off. And therefore, we need your help.
Right. What do I have to do?
Come closer. Place your hand against the field.
Just what he asked Bradley to do before Bradley freaked out about death traps. We're standing so close. If this field were deadly, and Linds wanted me murdered, it would only take a hard shove. Therefore, it must be safe. Except that Linds is just twisted enough that he might enjoy tricking people into frying themselves on his trap. No, I am not a fainting blossom. I reach out and press my hand against the shifting surface, my shoulders tense in anticipation of a shock that never comes. No electric tingle, no heat. It's a bit like pushing on a waterbed. You can feel it give at your touch, but it remains solid.
Interesting.
I look back at Linds, who has some sort of oscilloscope in his hand displaying complex wave patterns. What now?
Oh, that will do for the moment.
Well, let me know if there's anything else I can do to help.
Raphael and I can handle it.
He's a scientist too?
No, he is an obedient pair of hands.
Come to think of it, Linds did order Raphael to fetch his handcuffs. Is he your boyfriend?
And what if he were?
How would I feel about that? Well, I'm probably not going to get another chance, really, to think about this, so, be intrigued, I guess. There we go. Well, you make a cute couple. You don't have to hold back on my account, you know.
Ew.
I mean, if you wanted to kiss or anything, it'd be fine. Ha! How did I know that was gonna be his option?
You'd like that, would you?
Oh my gosh, what if we have like a threesome at the end of this? What if that's the good ending? Or at least one of the endings is you get into a threesome with these guys. Oh no.
Sorry to disappoint you. Raphael is my housemate, not my lover.
Why didn't he just say so then? He enjoys playing games too much. With my heart. Albin enters the room and scowls at me over these shenanigans.
What are you doing out here? Assisting me with my inquiries.
Albin rolls his eyes, apparently not appreciating Linds's odd turns of phrase.
Nathaniel said I should fetch everyone for dinner.
You're letting Bradley out?
He can starve for all I care.
We follow Albin to the dining room where Raphael waits for us.
There you are. Janet, what would you like for dinner?
Janet is in a hurry to leave. If you'll come with me, we can...
You need to eat. You skipped lunch already today.
Oh, all right.
Linds and Albin seat themselves at the table. Is Nathaniel coming?
He's fetching the wine. Now, what do you want for dinner?
What's available?
Eggs, mushrooms, some chicken, 2 bags of salad, pizza, frozen raspberries, baguettes, garlic bread, a couple of tuna steaks, potatoes, corn on the cob, a roast. It's really easier if you say what sort of thing you like.
A grilled mushroom sandwich sounds nice. Nathaniel enters carrying 2 bottles of wine.
Would you care for a glass?
I'm underage.
Really? How old are you?
19.
That's old enough.
I think it is in Europe, but not around here. I suppose his parents have been giving him wine since he was a child.
Don't worry. I don't drink either. I'll go check on the food.
As he bustles off to the kitchen, Nathaniel pours a glass of red wine and hands it to Albin without being asked.
Linds?
Up to you. Whatever you think would go best.
Nathaniel pours half a glass of white.
Take it slow. You'll enjoy the flavor more in small amounts.
Linds takes the glass and swirls it thoughtfully before allowing a tiny bit to pass his lips.
I've never really understood the appeal. There are better tastes and faster routes to drunkenness.
But you look more romantic drunk on wine than on vodka.
He salutes Nathaniel with his glass and takes a sizable sip.
One of these days I should find some absinthe.
Ah yes, the true artist beverage. Should you discover a bottle, I would be happy to share it with you.
You do know that's illegal.
Illegal?
It developed an unfortunate reputation for causing hallucinations and madness. Most likely because it was popular with artists, and many of them are at least half mad to begin with.
Albin hides a cough behind his glass.
There are dangers to any drug, legal or illegal. The distinction is usually made by politicians, not scientists.
Still, if it's the law...
Have you never broken a law?
I don't think so.
Would you even know? There are so many laws in the world. You could be violating one right now. Some laws are outdated, or misguided, or written by bigots and fools.
Then you should fight to change the laws.
And if there isn't time?
Well, I guess if it were something really important, then I'd have to think about it. I'm not sure what would be that important, though.
What things are important to you?
My schoolwork? Albin snorts.
In other words, there's nothing in your life worth making sacrifices for.
Hey! I work hard for my grades. When I get out of here, I'm probably not going to get any sleep until Monday in order to finish my homework on time. And there's the rub. Sitting around chatting like this, I can almost believe that these are my friends. That this is a dinner party. I can almost forget about Bradley completely. Completely. Ah, Bradley completely. Almost Bradley completely.